Thanks for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Before we get to those stories, we want to prepare you for a weather impact alert day. A strong system that brought rain into Oregon late this evening is expected to bring heavy downpours through tomorrow. Let's start off with meteorologist Joe Ranieri for those details. Joe?
Hey, John, and those showers are going to continue the rest of tonight and into a good portion of tomorrow, although we'll get a little bit more of a break here and there by late morning, early part of the afternoon heading into Monday. So the timing is basically now all the way into Monday afternoon. Wet roads, heavy downpours at times, and along with those heavy downpours, we could see some thunderstorms at times. So allow yourself a little more time to head out there. I know as I came back from my dinner break, it was all dry when I left. When I came back, yeah, those showers were moving in and they have been pretty strong. So far, we've seen about a fourth of an inch of rain, which now marks the wettest day so far this month and the wettest day so far this fall. We're looking at a temperature of 56 degrees. It just looks like fall out there. I know that it's dark out there, but from our Wells Fargo tower camera, you can really see that system moving on shore. So it moves in tonight, heavy showers overnight and into a good portion of tomorrow, along with a heavy cells. We could be looking at some thunderstorms at times. So here we are again. The yellows and oranges will be moving through here in just the next couple of hours. You get a break here and there, but for the most part, we don't get much of a long break that lasts hours or so. So there's no watches and warnings because of the potential of street flooding and stuff like that. But still, we could be seeing some ponding here and there as these heavier showers move through. And basically by tomorrow afternoon, right around 4 o'clock is when things will start to calm down a little bit. As we head into Tuesday, we'll be waking up to some patchy areas of fog with a lot of sunshine. And once we get past tomorrow afternoon, we're on track to see a relatively nice week ahead. So I have a couple of different locations that shows how much rain we could be seeing here over the next several hours. This model is showing that we'll be seeing close to another fourth of an inch of rain by the end of tomorrow. And yeah, you travel into the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley, you could be looking at 3/4 of an inch of rain. It's already been pretty wet out there, and that's going to continue here the next couple of days. But let's not forget, this is mid-October, almost late October practically. This is something we're used to, but still we are tracking some heavy downpours here the next 12 to 18 hours.
All right, Joe, thank you. We're going to be catching up on those October rainfall totals. Thank you.
I was really surprised when I was gone 45 minutes to come back and you can't even get in here.
A quick yet shocking turn of events at a Lincoln City motel. An investigation is underway by Oregon State Police after officers shot and killed a man yesterday. Our Sydney Dorner spoke with a woman who was staying in a nearby room.
The shooting happened when police were responding to a domestic disturbance at this Motel 6 here in Lincoln City. They say the man didn't cooperate, even reaching for his waistband, which had 2 firearms.
It's a scary situation and it's intimidating.
Anna from Lincoln City is shaken after an argument between a couple in a nearby motel room turned deadly.
The couple that I was talking to earlier, like they were arguing, but then I had to go. That's not my business. I assume somebody else would call the police if it got bad.
Someone else did call the police. Officers got there Saturday afternoon to the Motel 6 off Highway 101 and Northeast 35th Street.
The whole parking lot's full of police officers, and I saw a couple of the people, they had a really scared look on their face.
When police found the man involved in the domestic dispute, they say he wouldn't cooperate.
But they're not there to chat with you, they're there to take care of business.
Police say the man reached for the 2 firearms on his waistband before officers shot and killed him.
They don't want to kill anybody, nobody does. That's a horrible thing to have to live with, whether you have a badge or not.
The man was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. Authorities aren't releasing his identity, saying they are having trouble finding his family. Oregon State Police say he had outstanding warrants and the couple was tied to a stolen car parked outside.
Yeah, and they were in the room right next to me. If he was shooting a gun, bullets could have went bouncing everywhere. Other people could have gotten hurt.
Oregon State Police is taking over the investigation. The officers involved are now on paid administrative leave. Back to you.
New tonight out of Washington, the U.S. Navy has declared 2 of its service members dead after their jet crashed in a remote area east of Mount Rainier. The Navy said its search operations, which started on Tuesday, are now shifting to recovery. Governor Jay Inslee has approved National Guard support to assist the Navy in those efforts. The Navy has not released the name of the crew members yet, and the cause of the crash is still being investigated. Governor Inslee added in the statement, "These moments remind us of the risks military service members take in service to our homeland. Every day, whether in training or in combat, their courage and honor are the same." A family is in mourning after 2 sisters from Vancouver were hit by a driver in Florida, leaving one of them dead. Our Celine Stevens is joining us live from the newsroom tonight. And Celine, you spoke with the family today.
John, that's right, I did. Then this family has been struck by tragedy after tragedy this year. Last Thursday, 17-year-old Angelica and her 14-year-old sister Alina were on a motorcycle when they were hit by a 16-year-old driver. The impact left Angelica dead and her younger sister with severe injuries. Now the family is asking for help.
I'm at a loss for words. I grew up with her. I played dress up with her. It's unbelievable.
Last Thursday night, Angelica and Alina Yarmuk were on a motorcycle when they were hit by a 16-year-old male driver. The crash happened in Florida, where the girls and their parents moved to from Washington just a few years ago. The crash left 17-year-old Angelica dead and her 14-year-old sister, who was a passenger on the bike, seriously injured.
Thursday evening, my aunt and uncle got a knock on the door. The police said, "Your daughter passed away." And the little daughter, 14 years old, is airlifted to the hospital.
The girls came back to Vancouver a few months ago after their mom's brother died, which was already a blow to the family. Their cousin Victoria says that was the last time she saw Angelica.
My last memories with her were on the street. We were running around and we were just all so happy. Who knew that would be the last time that I would ever hug her, that I would ever say goodbye to her.
Angelica loved motorcycles and had saved up all summer to buy her new bike.
Every day she rode, and so it's just so tragic that that's the thing that took her life. I mean, you could be doing everything right, you could be driving perfectly safe, the speed limit, but it's just like it's other drivers.
Alina faced severe injuries, but her family says she's expected to be discharged Tuesday. She didn't know what happened to her sister until this Saturday.
And today they broke the news to her after surgery, and she was just screaming. They were best friends. They shared a room together. They grew up together.
According to Northport, Florida police, the car attempted to turn left, and the motorcycle then hit the front right corner of the sedan. The driver was not hurt. The family of the sisters say the boy's family has not contacted them.
We know he was uninjured. We know he gets to go home to his family, and they get to decide and plan for what they do next, and our family just has to act immediately. So I feel like it's unjust.
The family is asking for donations to their GoFundMe to help with medical costs and Angelica's funeral. With the girl's dad being the sole provider and working as a truck driver, they say they need all the help they can get.
You look at other people who went through this, people who posted GoFundMes and stuff like that, and you never think like that's gonna be you someday.
Police say both girls were wearing helmets at the time of the accident. The family says they will be flying out at the end of the week for Angelica's funeral on Saturday. John?
Such a heartbreaking story. All right, Celine, thank you. The Washington County Sheriff's Office is asking for the community's help finding a missing teen. 14-year-old Samara K. Zelik of Aloha did not return home from school on Wednesday and left her phone at home. The Sheriff's Office said she's familiar with public transportation and is known to go to Portland. If you've seen her or you know where she is, call the non-emergency line at the bottom left of your screen. New tonight, nearly a dozen people have been displaced after a fire at an apartment complex in Salem Saturday night. Just before 9, firefighters were called to a 12-unit building off of Southeast Roy Vaughn Avenue. They arrived to find black smoke coming from the building. Crews evacuated the building and knocked down the fire without any injuries. The fire is still under investigation and cost about $50,000 in damage. An investigation is underway in Washington after health officials report what they believe to be the first positive human cases of avian flu in the state this year. In a media briefing earlier today, the Secretary of Health said 4 workers at a commercial egg farm in Franklin County are presumptively positive after they and other workers were exposed to infected chickens. Those results have been sent to the CDC for confirmation. Officials say the infection is linked to the seasonal migration of waterfowl. Washington state veterinarian had this message for families with chickens of their own.
Every backyard flock is at risk right now because migrating waterfowl are landing and often they don't get sick. We expect that about 15% of migrating waterfowl have this infection, and every time they land in a pond, they are contaminating that environment. And so the most important thing you can do if you have backyard poultry is to keep your birds in and away from wild waterfowl.
Those workers who tested positive have reported mild symptoms and were given antiviral medication. So far, nothing points to human transmission of bird flu or any cases at commercial dairy farms. We are a little more than 2 weeks away from Election Day, and if you live in Oregon and have not received your ballot, there's still time before checking in with your local elections office. The last day to mail out ballots is this coming Tuesday. Also on that day, there's a chance for you to hear from some local candidates and learn more about how ranked choice voting works. A reminder, that's the format you're going to see in the city of Portland elections this year, and then for Multnomah County elections starting in 2026. That voter education event will be held at 6 Tuesday night at Christ Memorial Church on North Killingsworth. And for the first time in more than a decade, the Oregon Ducks are now #1 in the Associated Press college football poll. It follows the team's on-the-road shutout win over Purdue, continuing their unbeaten streak this year. This makes Oregon the 4th team to hold the top spot this season. Also the first time the Ducks have been #1 since 2012. Well, more news on your way at 11. Coming up, how interactive robots are keeping toddlers away from screens and getting them moving. Plus, a community show of support for everyone impacted by breast cancer. We heard from one survivor on why it's so important that he shares his story.